Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. As always, like, subscribe, follow, whether on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Thank you to all those who have been subscribing to the YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate it. And also don't forget to follow on social media, Instagram, X, and as well as TikTok as well. It is a late Tuesday night. So tonight's episode is going to be it's going to be a short one, previewing women's club. I'm going to talk a little bit about the men's squad after I do my preview, but mostly today is getting everything ready for Women's Champions League, which is going on tomorrow. They are playing Lyonnes. Listen, it is an important match. Before the international break, they had some struggles. They are going to be facing a very good squad in Lyonnes. If you've been following the Women's Champions League, if you're looking at the tables, you're going to see where they are in Champions League. Sitting in third at this time right now, Manchester United are currently sitting in. I was just taking a look here at the women. I just had the table up. What happens when you play around and lose things very quickly. But yes, actually I have it right here now. So yes, Women's Champions League, they did have matches going on today. Lyonnes is currently sitting in third. That's because Juventus had played and they moved up to second. Barcelona hasn't played yet, but us and Lyonnes are playing. We're 1 point apart. Listen, this is going to be a tough match for the women's squad. We face a tough challenge in Wolfsburg. Lyonnes has played Wolfsburg. They beat them 3-1. They tied Juventus, and then they took one. I just had their fixtures up. Let me just get that back. So yes, drew last time against Juventus. They beat Wolfsburg 3-1, and then they beat Polten 3-1, and then beating Arsenal 2-1. So they have been playing very well in this tournament. And the women's squad, listen, for the first 3 matches, it was very physical, but the squad overcame. We faced a very tough PSG. We faced a very tough Athletic. And then we also faced a very tough Vålerenga as well. The women's squad is held up, but when we faced Wolfsburg, we saw when the floodgates opened what had happened. Expect it even to be tougher when they play Lyon in tomorrow. For the type of matchup or type of lineup that I'm going to be expecting, maybe look something similar to PSG, but having Toulouse Joyce back in that spot will help. The main thing too is, and this is the one thing that they were struggling with near the end before the international break, it seemed like fatigue. Rotation has to be key. Skinner has to move people, or is going to have to move people around, look at the squad and who to put in certain spots. It is important. Excuse me. It's important that we do we do move the squad around, because listen, we don't want to get this, because again we have now I'm losing a blank. We're playing Lyon tomorrow. We have Tottenham on Sunday, back to Juventus on Wednesday, and Tottenham again the following week. So, and it's 3 different types of tournaments. We have Champions League, SL, and then a cup game as well. So we have to make sure we're rotating carefully with it. I'm going to try and pull up one of the fixtures. I'm going to pull up the lineup from PSG just to take a look here. Yeah, so from that, expect Joyce to be there. George would probably take the spot of Janssen or Letizier. Riviere, Sandberg, we know Riviere is going to continuously play, but you should monitor her. Maybe, I'm not saying not start her, but maybe monitor her minutes. All depends on what type of formation he's going to play. We know Mallard can play in the middle, Rolfo as well. You may have Turlin starting back. Again, they just came back from international break, so depending on how they are feeling, excuse me again, I got a little bit of a cold, so I'm sorry that these little coughs are just spurting out. I don't mean to cough in the mic. But we just played West Ham on Sunday. As much as we were happy with the win, it was just a game on Sunday. So you're going to have to look at it. You may, because I got to pull up, let's pull up West Ham as well, because I want to double check that lineup. So, yeah. So, like, again, you may have Ulm, Mizawa, Toon maybe there, but in this essence with the rotation, you may look at, and every time you look at it, you see a different formation as well, but Awojo could play in the middle, may replace Toon. You may shift over Mallard, you may have Rolfo start, because on Sunday, you played a 4-2-3-1. You had the usual back four of Riviere, Letizier, Janssen, and Sandberg, Olme and Mizawa in the mids. And then on the attack, you had Mallard on the wing, Park on the wing, Toon in the middle, and then you had Turlin starting. You may go with, because Rolfo is used to that European style from when she was playing with Barcelona, so you may have her come out on the wing, move Mallard to the front. You may have Awojo coming in to be in the middle as well. But again, it all depends on how they're going to. You could have Blundell start potentially as well if we're worried about rotation, but you're going to probably look at how they did the attack with Park, Mallard, and Rolfo. That's probably going to be your attack tomorrow. You're probably going to see Olm, Awojo, and Mizawa in that middle. Toon will probably come on in the second half. You may see George Janssen. It's all based on how comfortable they are with the back four, how well they came out of Sunday's game. Riviere sometimes did looked a little beat up, a little bit of a limp that I saw on Sunday. So hopefully she's fine, but you want to monitor her because, again, it is a long season. As much as you've qualified for the knockout stage, which is great, you want to make sure everyone's healthy. So maybe you don't start Riviere today. Maybe you do get someone on. Maybe you do bring on like a Blundell. Let me just take a look here because Blundell came on for her on Sunday. Maybe you bring her on as a starter. You bring on Riviere later on, but that would take a hit if you're not having her start because again they like to build it from the back. Her and Sandberg you can use to stretch and move the ball up and carry through. And connect with Park. Park, we know that can carry the ball in transition. So it is a situation here where you want to make sure that you're healthy because, again, you don't want to lose her for the knockout stages. So rotation is going to be key. As much as we have a Christmas break and we're back in January, you want to make sure that they get through this, but you also want to make sure that they're healthy too because, again, you have a game on Sunday. You're back again next Wednesday. Sunday again, facing the same Tottenham squad in a cup game. So Skinner's going to have to work on rotation, monitor minutes, monitor health, because we have seen a couple of games where Riviere has walked off. She's walked off on her own, but you see her sometimes a little struggle with that. So we'll hopefully monitor and see how that goes. But losing her would be tough for the back four. It would, but overall, it may look something similar to what they did with PSG. Even with PSG, you can even say, let's take a look at Wolfsburg. But in this instance here, because I'm going to look at Wolfsburg lineup because I can't remember. Yeah, because Wolfsburg lineup, we had our usual back four. We had Ome, Mizawa. Yeah, from what I basically was starting, it's the same back four, the same starting lineup there. Expect Lyon to still bring the pressure, but the one thing too is this was the end of a very long stretch. Fatigue was set there. Wolfsburg has the depth. Lyon definitely is going to have potential depth as well going into this, and they have to be able to match the physicality too. That's the one thing I've noticed with some of these European clubs. The physical style has been there, the press that they put on, the pressure with them. But they're going to have to rotate and use the depth for this. And when you're facing a very tough European club like Lyon, you're going to see them bring it on. So look for something, probably something like, again, similar lineup probably to what we did with Wolfsburg. But well, Wolfsburg, we didn't have Park starting because we had the game on the weekend. So Park should be in. So again, like I said, Crystal Palace, yes, again, Mallard, Rolfo, Park as your attack. Ome, Ojo, Mizawa there. And then they may keep the same back four as West Ham because, again, it's their first game back in a couple of weeks. But again, fatigue, we want to make sure everything's good to go. So, yeah, we want to make sure that this women's squad makes it throughout healthy and good to go. But they are going to expect a high press. They're going to expect some tough physical. They've experienced that so far, but they are facing one of the best teams. And again, as much as we've qualified for knockout, we still want to be able to close out these games, get the experience in. Because again, we have them Lyon today, we have Juventus next week. So it is going to be a good matchup. I'm going to do the post game later on, or post game after. I will do a follow up rank player ratings as I always do. But yeah, I will follow up with the post game tomorrow. So keep an eye for that. Hope you guys enjoy the game. I know I'm looking forward to it as well. But they have to be able to maintain the ball. The turnovers have to be careful. Moving out of the one thing too is the limitation of moving out of the back. That's the one thing that killed them in their losses. When they're trying to move it out of the back and the poor passing, teams have forced the turnover. Excuse me 1 second. Teams have turned the ball. They have turned the ball over to the teams, and teams have capitalized and scored. They have to be quick with the passes and move on. So the big press from these types of teams will be there. So keep an eye on it. It was something that Wolfsburg did very well against us, capitalize on the turnovers. City was doing it too. So, and they've beat a very good women's Arsenal squad too. So keep an eye. Like again, they have to manage the ball, communicate. They have to be careful with moving out of the back too. Use the wings, use the speed that they've used to score, crosses, movement, protecting that middle. That's what this women's squad has to do. So, yeah. Post game tomorrow, player ratings, everything. I will talk about that. One thing that I'm updating with the change, Friday is going to be a double preview episode. The reason why is got some stuff going on the weekend. So I can't do the preview for Saturday for the men's squad. So I'm going to do Friday preview for the women's squad, and then I'm going to do a separate episode for the men's squad. And then, because the men play on Monday against Bournemouth, women do play Sunday. And then post game will be Sunday. It will be a little later on at night. It might, and then I'll be doing the post game Monday too. So these Monday games, these during the week United games kill me for the men's squad. But I will have the episodes out too. So keep an eye out for tomorrow's episode for the post game ratings. But right now, I am just going to do a little short bit on the men's squad because obviously I'm going to try and catch up because as much as I do all these episodes, there's a lot of stuff to do with that. So you might have heard a little bit of a background noise there. I accidentally made a click, so I do apologize for that. But Yes, let's discuss the men's squad. Okay. I know it's been an episode or two where I've actually sat down and try and talk just about the men's squad. I tried to do a little bit more. Listen, we have transfer. Listen, a lot of things have happened since the game. We won yesterday. Obviously, every time there's a game, there's always a post game effect, or so on and so forth. Obviously, things have now come out. Kobe Mainu, again, it's the discussion of everything. As has been reported, there's just a little discussion here. The Amarim in and out division is still there. I mentioned yesterday, as much as I'm happy with the win, there were still issues there. There have been rumors about the January transfer window. There's rumors that there's one thing I saw here. There is a rumor that so we have a rumor that a journalist claims that the Man United January transfer is 99% done. This is from munews.com. From what I'm hearing here, journalist Luca Sanron, quote from Sports Witness, says that the contact close to a Serie A club's assistant manager, Christian Stellani, told him that the move is all but done. This is in regards to potential Kobe Mainu move to Napoli, which is his preferred choice. In the past few days, I received a phone call from a friend, Mr. Stellani, who informed me that he learned that there has been a significant acceleration in the sale of Kobe Mainu, even talking about the percentage close to 99%. Naturally, the person who gave me this transfer rumor didn't cite Stellini as his source. So again, this continues on. Will Mainu leave on a permanent basis? The insight is that he would leave on a loan, from what I've been hearing, for what I've been reading as well. Whether this is true or not, we do not know. We don't know if Man United are going to let him leave. There was an article that came out about Paul Scholes telling Mainu to leave Manchester United and go to Chelsea. That is like, come on. But listen, we know Mainu wants to get back into the World Cup. We know he wants to play. We know he wants to go to Napoli. There's no talk of him going to another Premier League team. That was his talk before the end of the summer transfer window. That still remains as his topic of choice. And Napoli does want to get him for a loan basis. Now, there's talks that the reason why he wants to go on loan is because the rumor is that if Amarim is fired, he'd still be happy to come back to Manchester United and play. We know things have been there. And we know Ruben has tried to... We know that he's not into the system. And when you're playing only one game a week, it is hard to get minutes. And I mentioned this in many earlier episodes of the season's podcast. There's so many mouths to feed, and there's only one cookie jar and so many mouths to feed, and it's tough. Hopefully with the AFCON, we're going to see Kobe get minutes. You're seeing the look on here. And I love how everyone is talking about Kobe from what he did in the FA Cup in 2024. I get it. He was stellar debut with him and everything, played for England, all that stuff. Since then, injuries have been there, and obviously the change in manager. But when he got those minutes to be there, we saw him capitalize on certain things. But at the same time, too, when they're trying to get a system and players to go, obviously he has struggled to do what Ruben wants. Ruben, if he's going to play, he's going to take over Bruno, but he's going to kind of have to be able to move the way Bruno, not exactly be Bruno, but he's going to have to be able to move the ball forward, take advantage, carry it forward, move it through, so on and so forth. When he has come on, and I'm not the only one who's going to say this, he has struggled when he has come on. We've seen him given opportunities to start. Obviously, the Grimsby game did not go any which way. We've seen him come on for Brentford. No, did he come on for Brentford? No. We did see him come on for some games where he did struggle. It did. I think Burnley he came on, didn't do the best. Obviously, I know reduced minutes can be tough, but hopefully with the way AFCON's going, because Bournemouth is going to be the last time we see Mainu and Buemo and Mazraoui. We won't see them for a couple of weeks. Hopefully after that, you're going to see Mainu play. Hopefully Amorim has options to look at that. So we will see how it goes. Paul Scholes is telling him to leave and join because with Garnacho, that's just silly. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want to lose Kobe, but I understand what he wants to do. He wants to play. He wants to start. But in the system that Amorim wants, he's not gonna get that much time unless Bruno's leaving. But if he goes, we have to get a midfielder. So if he's going, that means we're expecting Conor Gallagher possibly to be coming to the club. At least, because you're going to need a type of player like almost not exactly Bruno, but a player who you know that can play in that pivot, move it, carry it through, and do the passes that we need. But has to be a lot better defender. But listen, Kobe is a good player, but I understand why. I get it, but telling Scholes to go to Chelsea, like, come on, Scholes. But yeah. Listen, there's still transfer talk. We're still weeks away from the transfer window. Obviously, we're going to look to see who we got. But listen, we have our targets, but we'll see. And I know there's rumors that they may not be spending now in January. There's another rumor that Baliba's cost has now come down. So I've heard rumors that they're not going to spend the targets that they want to get in January. They can probably get in the summer. Gives a better opportunity to know. Listen, today we hear this. Tomorrow we're going to be like, they're willing to spend and back Amorim. Another day they're going to be like, we're not going to do anything. We're going to let Amorim go. And then they're going to talk that Amorim needs to get results. It's just, there's no clear vision of what is happening with the news. Listen, if you Google Manchester United transfer news, you're going to see them targeting an Austrian defender. Like I mentioned, the 99% sale. There's rumors of Man United should go for Mo Salah. So it's, no clear definitive, but it's time to look to see. And we need to play it by ear with Kobe, because we know Xerxes was just turned down as well. A bid did come in that was turned down. So we do need depth. But if Kobe goes, we're getting someone to replace him, and it has to be on a loan. So we need to have the depth there. So it's going to take time. As the weeks go on, it'll progress, but we'll just, I'm going to leave the episode there. We'll be back tomorrow. I will, again, post-game, the women's game, and as well, I'll touch up a little bit on the men's squad too, with any updates as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, whether on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, and as well as Instagram, TikTok, and X. And hope you guys enjoy the episode. Hope you guys looking forward to the game tomorrow. Hopefully again. Yeah. Oh, and the one thing too, I got to talk about, I forgot to mention it yesterday. I know Saturday I said I want to talk about a double victory, and yes, I got what I wanted. We got a Manchester United women's squad win and a Manchester United men's squad. So back-to-back wins for Manchester United for their squads. So yes, that's good news for that. And that's what I wanted. So forgot to mention that into yesterday. I kind of made yesterday's episode a little negative, just because, again, as much as I was happy that we got the win, there are still things that are still appearing there in the game as well. So, but yeah, that's for another episode to discuss as well. So, yes, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the game. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.